Okay, right. So, do any of you know what Pythagoras is? Read Pythagoras. Yeah. Yes, it's a mathematician, but what is the theorem of Pythagoras? What is that about? Triangles, yes. Can anyone guess what type of triangle? I know. Oh, there we go. A right angle triangle. So in order to use Pythagoras, number one, we must have a right angled triangle. Okay. So I'm going to name this triangle A, B, and C.
It's funny because a lot of times you would say that Pythagoras lived on our mountain because we have many, we have lots of right angle triangles.
Who says that?
No, we just made a joke.
Oh. Okay. So you will see that I named that triangle A, B, and C. Now, just to quickly make sure everyone is with me, when I talk about that side, I'm going to talk about AB. Right? When I want to talk about this side, I'm going to talk about BC. Okay? And this one over here would be AC. Right. Now, when we work with Pythagoras, we are going to talk about the hypotenuse. Which one of these sides would be the hypotenuse? AC. Yes. The hypotenuse is always the side across the 90 degrees angle. Okay? So that AC will be my hypotenuse. Moet ek eers weer 'n spelling gaan check. Okay, so that would be the hypotenuse. Now, your hypotenuse will also be the longest side of your triangle. It is the longest side. Okay, now, what does the theorem of Pythagoras tell us? Basically, in a nutshell,
Dames en heren, jammer om te klaar. Al die graad 9 Afrikaanse klasse wat daar vir foto's gaan. Al die graad 9 Afrikaanse klasse klippers wat foto's asseblief.
Okay, basically in a nutshell, I'm going to talk about the two short sides, which in this case would be A, B, and B, C. No. And then I'll talk about the longer side or hypotenuse. Okay, so what Pythagoras tells us is, if I take the two short sides, the ones that actually form the 90 degrees angle, right? If I take those two sides, I square each one of them. So basically, I'm going to take AB and I'm going to take BC. No? I'm going to square each one of them. So AB squared and BC squared. And I'm going to add them. So can you see I took my two short sides, squared them, and added them. And they will be equal to my hypotenuse, meaning AC, but also squared. I'm just going to write above that hypotenuse. Okay, so the two short sides squared and added would be equal to hypotenuse squared. Okay, now whenever we use that, and people, that's a mark, at the end of that statement that I just made, I have to have a bracket and say Pyth. Okay, so you've got to indicate that I was able to write that because of the theorem of Pythagoras. It's like when we did geometry. For every statement you made, you had to give a reason. And in this case, my reason is Pythagoras. Okay, so whenever you use Pythagoras, we're not going to tell you that again. Whenever you use Pythagoras, you've got to write Pyth as a reason. Okay, you guys good? All right, now Leave 2 lines open here because I'm going to get back and add more here. I just want to quickly do an example so that you guys get what I'm saying first. Okay, so I'm going to skip back to this page in a few minutes. Make sure you leave 2 lines open there. All right, so let's quickly just do an example to make sure that everyone actually does understand what's going on. Okay, just to be different, let's make it like that. And say A, B, C. That's my 90 degrees angle. And this one is 3 and that one is 4. Okay, so first things first, am I able to use Pythagoras? Yes, because we do have a 90 degrees angle. Okay, let's start with writing down the formula and then the reason, meaning pi. Okay, so you're going to start with 2 short sides squared and add it. So AB squared plus BC squared will be equal to the hypotenuse, the one right across the 90 degrees angle, which is AC squared. Okay, and I've got to give a reason. Fine. Everyone fine so far? Okay, now let's go and substitute in what we've got. What is AB again? AB is 3. So I'm going to have 3 squared plus, what's BC? 4 squared will be equal to AC squared. Now I don't have to write Pyth again. We already stated that was our reason. We can just finish calculating. Okay, now 3 squared is actually 9. 4 squared is 16. Okay. Now, if you guys don't mind, I want to write the AC squared. I don't like having my unknown on the right-hand side. Is that all right? Okay, so 9 plus 16 is going to give you how much? 25. So AC squared is actually equal to 25. Okay, now, would the length of that side be 25? No. Why? Because there's a square. How do I get rid of the square? Because I only want to know how much AC is. There we go. So I'm going to get square root. So AC will be equal to square root of 25, meaning AC will be 20. Okay, no, it will be 5. And then because it wasn't stated that it's millimeters or centimeters, I'm just going to say units. Yes, yeah. Now, people, if you do get a negative answer, you know you went wrong somewhere along the line. Because if I were to measure the length of this table, could the length ever be something like -5? You can't get a negative distance. Okay, so if your answer is a negative, you know you went wrong somewhere along the line. Go back and double check all your steps again. Okay, then something else that's very important is, I saw it in my previous class, please, you first have to add these. And then that final answer, I must get square root of. Okay? Don't try and skip a step. Let me just finish my sentence. Because in my previous class, the kids said they're going to get square root of this and square root of that. Then you're just working back to that again. So actually, you're not doing anything. No? It's important. You first got to get the answer, add it to get that 25, and only now can I go and say square root. Okay. Yes, ask your question. Yeah, some kids like going from here to there and then to the final answer. And that's also fine. Please remember you must have your reason then somewhere, no? Okay. Do you guys want to try one on your own? Okay. Let's go. What? Ja, ek eers sien. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's make a D, E, F. Okay, right. You guys done? That one. That one. What? Hands up, you're still busy. Okay, if you're done copying, you can tell me. Who have you guys got? No, you're going back to register after this. Who's your register teacher? Mr. Stein. Mrs. Okay, I'm gonna. There was, but not anymore. I'm gonna ask you guys to. I'm gonna ask one of you to just quickly go with me when the bell rings. I want to give you guys the notes. I wasn't able to copy it earlier this morning because of the power. Okay, your homework page. Done. Okay, right. Okay, so we've got to calculate DF. Let's have a look. Pythagoras tells me that DE squared plus EF squared, and remember EF and FE is the same thing. Okay? You guys good? Okay, will be equal to DF squared because of Pythagoras.
12 met nou register periode na kamer 27 gaan asseblief en 8 met na kamer 15 gaan. Nou register periode 12 kamer 27, 8 kamer 15 asseblief.
So DF squared will be equal to 169. But I just want DF, so I'm going to say square root of 169. So DF is 13 units.